What's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of On the Bluff. I'm your host, Christian Fowler. Joining me, as always, my co-host, Gabe Kuhn, our producer, Kenny Stubblefield. Guys, it's a Tuesday night, not a Monday night for us recording, and we're live. So
this is crazy.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. This is in 152 episodes. I think. What is it? Are we 2 or 3 years into On the Bluff? And this is
just about. Trey Lasley's such a hater. He said, "Wow,
we're not even 2 seconds into the show, and he's got something to say to Kenny."
Such a hater. Wow, Kenny didn't skip your show.
He didn't.
Wait, he kind of did.
I kind of did.
Yeah.
I wasn't. If we did it last night, if we recorded the pre-recorded last night, I was not going to be available because I got roped into playing volleyball with Tracy, and we played from 5 o'clock at night to 10 o'clock last night. And I am legitimately dead.
What are you, the libero?
Dude, I'm the libero, dude. I'm really good at it. I get down on the floor.
So you set everybody up.
Man, I smoke, bro. What are you talking about?
So you're an outside hitter.
Outside hitter, baby. This is what I do.
Well, no. I mean, dude, you have like a 12-inch, vert. So I didn't know.
What did I show speed tell Ja Morant? 48-inch vertical? What are you talking about, man?
Shit.
Yeah, Kenny probably couldn't move when he got out of the bed this morning.
Oh, I can't move right now. Like I'm struggling. Like if I were to have to get up from this chair right now, it would take me about 5 minutes.
It's not good.
All right, Thanksgiving debate to start the show. Everybody wants it. Everybody's asking for it.
Okay.
What do we think? Do you eat your Thanksgiving meal during the day, or is it a nighttime sit around the dinner table, dining room table thing? It's the debate I've been having all week.
It's usually both for me.
Both? Damn.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean,
I only have to have one, like turkey and stuffing. It's like a one time, and then maybe the next day,
we usually do my family for lunch, and then Anna Ruth's family like for dinner. So I usually have two.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
To me,
we have all the family right here at the house I'm in right this second.
Right.
So, my house.
Yeah.
I mean, you got family sitting right next to you right now, listening to the show.
Well, I wouldn't say listen to the show. I think she's
shout out.
She's listening. She's listening to it. She's got her beats on, and she's doing some homework.
No, that's what's up. What's up.
Ask her what she's
listening to.
Hey, what are you listening to? Tyler the Creator.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
There we go.
Hell yeah. Shout
out.
Let's go. I like her already. I don't even know her. I've never met her, but I like you. Aaliyah. That's what's up.
Aaliyah. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Kenny didn't answer your question either.
No, I'm about to. I like most of the time around 3 or 4, I'll eat a big meal, and then we'll have like desserts and snacks at night. Just to kind of work through it, because most of our family situations are like we're all together. Like we don't have multiple different places to go to. So
yeah, if to me, like Thanksgiving feels like more of a daytime meal.
Yes.
Yeah, I eat with the first game, and then I fall asleep for about halftime of the second game usually. Then wake up, maybe get a little bit more, but there's not like, to me, all that like sitting around the dining room table. Could you pass the butter? No, I can't.
Oh, it's a free for all.
Into that, brother. It's
free for all. Yeah,
we literally throw the bird on the ground and just have people scrap at it. That's my family.
Grab your fork and go at it. Right.
Exactly.
So that's the way it is. This double-filled house.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Okay, boys, where are we starting tonight? What's our show order looking like tonight?
Let's do this. Let's talk. Let's do this first. Hey, we got a Thursday night game this week. Memphis Tigers versus the Navy Midshipmen. Navy is a 4.5-point favorite in this game. It's the only football game on college football game.
4.5, isn't it? Memphis is favored in this game.
Oh, I thought
I believe Memphis is favored in this game, man.
If that's the case, then I'm wrong.
Memphis is favored. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, dadgummit. Hold on, let me change that.
Which, honestly, I can see where you made that mistake, Kenny.
I can too.
They've lost 2 straight, and we don't know what that effort's going to look like, brother.
We got some stuff happening in the Tigers facility. So what is Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, Memphis is a 4.5-point favorite against the Navy Midshipmen. What are y'all's thoughts? Are y'all excited about this game?
No,
Listen,
no, I'm not.
excitement is probably the wrong word. I would like to see this team at least finish the season on good footing. Get to another 10-win season. It would be nice. Win this one in a bowl game. If they lose this, 8-4 is ugly. I got to be honest with you. In this conference, it leaves a lot to be desired. But with this game, here's my hope. Ultimately, one, team's still going to be locked in, even though the Silverfield rumors are going to be swirling. We'll talk about those in a second. Even though they've lost 2 straight games and they're out of the college football playoff American Conference title, conversation completely. And here's the other hope I have. I hope last year's game taught them a little bit about what Navy wants to do offensively. It was a switch up. They throw the ball a little bit more, try to spread it out. We know Blake Horvath's a good quarterback. I just want to see them. I want to see them learn from last year's mistakes where they gave up 56 damn points.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of with Gabe. Like, I'm very interested to see how they respond in this game because back-to-back losses, what are you playing for other than pride at this point? Nothing. And that's where this transfer portal question comes up for me with a team like this, with pretty much a brand new roster for the most part. Who knows who's going to be here next year? Are they going to continue to be Memphis players? So what kind of pride do you play with if you don't even know if you're coming back next year and you're not playing for anything? I don't know. And I feel like Navy has a better chance to be locked in for this game, in my opinion. I'm not saying Memphis isn't going to be, but for the reasons I just gave, like I can see them kind of saying, what are we doing here? Like, it's Thanksgiving. I don't want to be playing for nothing on Thanksgiving. I could be with my family. Like I get it. Like, I understand. So I'm interested to see, do they come out firing or do they come out flat and kind of get rolled over in this game? Because this is going to be a physical game. You're going to have to be ready to go in the run game. You're going to be very disciplined defensively to see what Blake Horvath and the Navy offense does. So I don't know. I'm not excited for it because we're just at that point in time where there's not really anything to be excited for.
Yeah, and Blake Horvath last year in this game, 9 for 12, 192, 2 touchdowns throwing, 12 rushes, 211, 4 touchdowns rushing. So just, limit him to less than that. That's what I will say.
Wasn't that in the first half though? Like, didn't he have all that in the first half? He did.
Oh no, he cooked in the second half too.
Was he cooking in the second half? I just remember that first half.
Points. They
good God,
they cooked the whole game. But yeah, to your point, Christian, I hear like this constant talking point about Ryan's teams. Like, Ryan's teams don't quit. They don't give up on the season when they're outside, don't have the shot at the American Conference title. They still play hard. Well, let's also remember that the teams that you're talking about had 3- and 4-year players. Those were the Seth Hennigan, Jalen Allen, like those were those guys that stayed on campus consistently, had pride for this university. Like these 78 new guys.
Right.
That I feel like throughout the season, Ryan, and not all of them come from good programs, especially the quarterback, for God's sakes, Brendan Lewis. A lot of these guys came from bad programs where they were losing. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if after 2 straight losses and a bye week and knowing Ryan may be gone, like,
and Thanksgiving,
if they lay an egg. But listen, we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Do you think? Give a prediction though. I know Memphis is 4.5-point favorites. I just found this out. They're 4.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
What do you think? You think Memphis walks away with the dub, or do you think Navy gets it?
Navy. I think Navy wins.
I'll go the other side. I think Memphis wins it. I don't think they're going to be. I think it'll be by probably a field goal, or maybe less than that. But I think it'll be a close game. I just feel like Memphis. The reason I say this, Memphis learned a lot about Navy wants to do offensively. What Navy wants to do offensively last year doesn't mean Blake Horvath can't still expose their defense. But I thought last year they got completely blindsided by what Navy was doing to sort of switch up offensively.
Damn. Trey is, let me tell you, man, like, I really hope, like, I'm invested. I want to see the Memphis Tigers win.
Oh, God. He changed it to Trey, 58-10 Navy. There we go. Hey, can I talk you into 68? Can we make this like a,
I want the Tigers to win every game, obviously. But I am more so invested in the Tigers winning this game because I really want Trey Lasley to survive. Like this dude, like the Tigers Untapped last couple of episodes, this guy, he texts me and he's like, it has been a miserable couple of weeks for him, man. He's in a very dark time right now.
Instead of testing just a local brewery, he gets a 6-pack and crushes it on air.
Yeah, like he's been like just hitting natty lights like 6 at a time, like on the show instead of doing one beer. Like it's been a rough couple of weeks for him. And so I just for Trey Lasley's sake, I want them to win.
Well, it sounds like he's ready, brother. It sounds like he's ready to be heartbroken.
He's heartbroken. He says, I have selfies of me drinking my last beer with Fuente and Norvell. Do I need to have my last beer with Silverfield on Thursday? That leads us to the next topic. And we've got an Arkansas fan in the comment section that's hitting us up right now. There are the Silverfield to Arkansas coaching rumors are heating up, brother. And you actually, Gabe, had a conversation with Ryan on your radio show. What's your radio show called again? Where's it at?
It's I forget. The Gabe Kuhn show, maybe.
Oh,
is that what it is?
Yeah. But it's on 92.9 ESPN every day. Yeah,
4 to 7.
4 to 7
Friday.
Monday through Friday. Shout out.
Yeah.
You had Ryan Silverfield as a weekly guest this year during the season on your show. And you talked to him today, and there's a couple of comments that were
So
a little suspicious.
Listen, I talked about the game coming up and how the season's gone, and then at the end, as I'm supposed to do, I'm
it's obligatory.
I'm a journalist, brother. I have to get those questions out there. I said, are we going to see more Ryan Silverfield around here going into the offseason and into 2026? And the answer he gave is very notable because he said, I'm thrilled to be the head coach here, and it's the job I have. Anytime my name gets mentioned, it's a credit to the players like you who pour everything into the program. Then he went on to say, my main focus and our team's main focus is getting ready for Navy. And I think the main quote that everybody's pulling away from that answer is that one that is on the screen from Trey Lasley. This is the job I have. It was not convincing. And we know with Eric Morris, who was the favorite to be the next Arkansas head coach, with Eric Morris being hired by Oklahoma State, Ryan actually is the favorite according to most odds makers. Percentage chances, he's the favorite to be the next Arkansas head coach. But I think the non-answer he gave me was an answer in itself, that he may not know he has the job in the bag, but I have it on good authority. He's interviewed, and I have it on good authority that it's about a 50-50 shot. The two names I've heard that are the finalists are Kane Womack, Alabama defensive coordinator, and Ryan. So if there's a hire made outside of that, hey, it is what it is. But those are the two names that have surfaced the most in this conversation.
Yeah, and you told me about this earlier before we did your show, and I hadn't heard it yet, so I couldn't really believe it, because for me, like, knowing Ryan since he's been at Memphis, but then when he got the head coaching job, talking about how it was the dream job and it's what he wanted, and if he could stay here forever, he would. And I know
they always say that shit.
But it was different. It did have a different feel to it, because typically you feel like someone's trying to climb the ladder or use a certain school as a stepping stone. But who knew with Ryan? We didn't know how it was going to turn out. We didn't know what was going to happen from the time that he got the job, but it didn't sound good. Now, of course, it's difficult when you talk all the time and when you're constantly being interviewed. Right. Sometimes, you're not
but
feeling
this is the job I have is right. Nuts. Can we admit that?
It does feel different from something that he would say. So it feels a little odd. It feels a little weird, but if he is ready to move on, if he ultimately does take the Arkansas job, do we blame Ryan for leaving?
This is I said a form of this on air today. I think it would be, listen, I like Ryan probably more than most Memphis football fans. There's a stability to what he does. He runs a clean program behind the scenes. Now, granted, I'm pissed off just like everybody else that you can't get through to an American Conference title game, at least in appearance. It's nuts. But I did make this statement. I think it's good for all parties if he does end up at Arkansas. He gets a fresh start. He gets to restart his clock. Maybe Arkansas fans can appreciate him. He is a guy who, at the very least, runs a stable program, and I think Arkansas is in need of some type of stability. I don't know how well he would do in the SEC. I don't necessarily project him to do awesome, but at the same time, time would tell if he ultimately takes that job. And I think for Memphis and Memphis fans, you get a fresh start. Ed Scott gets to make his first hire, and I'm sure he would, has an idea of who that would be. And, I think when you hire a new coach, there's hope. There's more hope on the table, and it's fun. It's a fun process. So, I think it really would be good for all parties if this is how this ended up. As weird as that may sound to some Tiger fans, I think that's the truth.
Yeah, I agree with you just because I just feel like Memphis football right now is such an uphill climb. And I know Memphis football fans don't want to hear that, but the expectation has become to be in or win the American championship every year, which I don't think is an unfair expectation. But at the same time, this is such a difficult conference to recruit in, and we know most non-Power 4 schools are going to be primarily using the transfer portal just because you have all these guys that were at one point Power 4 players. Now they might be trying to drop a level to work their way back up or whatever. There is so much less of a guarantee when you are recruiting bounce backs from Power 4 schools and smaller schools than when you're getting guys out of high school. And that's just the nature of the beast nowadays. So I think it's a toss up in a conference like the American every year, because you could think you got the best player out of the American Conference and they turn into nothing, and you could get a player that no one thinks is going to amount to anything, and he becomes the talent that takes that team over the top. And I know this isn't an apples to apples example, but like Drew Mistemaker at North Texas, I know he wasn't a transfer or anything.
Hey, did you know he didn't start in high school?
Yes, I did. I've heard a time or two. But all it takes is a player like that to completely flip the conference upside down. So I don't know. I don't know how good of a job Memphis is right now as far as a long-term gig. I think, once again, just like with Norvell, just like with Wente, it's a great stepping stone school. But I don't know if the current Memphis football program can house a coach for a decade plus. Yeah. Because if you're not in that American championship every year or every other year, fans are going to sour quickly. And I know Ryan hasn't done that, so this isn't the same situation. This isn't the same scenario. But I just don't see how right now in the American at any school there's going to be a coach that is like the landmark coach of that school that stays for 10 to 15 years. I don't think it's going to work that way. Like Gabe said, I think it's a great time for Ryan to move on. This wasn't the year that he wanted to be. It would have been a lot better if he would have won or went to the American championship and then
then he would definitely be gone.
Yeah,
there'd be no doubt, 100%.
Right. And then made that jump, it would have left a better taste in fans' mouths. But if he does leave, I agree. I think it's good for everybody. I think Memphis fans feel like they need a reset at the coaching position with all the up and down that's been at Memphis under Silverfield, whether it was the down years in the beginning or last year having a really good team that didn't quite get the job done. Same thing with this team, a team that looked like they could go compete for a conference championship and potentially be in the college football playoff, and it didn't happen. Like it just feels like there's been too much between Ryan and Memphis fans, and it's time for Memphis to get a new guy, and it's time for Ryan to kind of start stepping up the ladder.
And listen, brother, this sucks to hear. For especially, I think most Memphis fans respect this ideology, but you want to hire a coach that's going to be wanted by the bigger boys in a few years. That's honestly your aspiration at the university.
100%.
And if you happen to keep him for 5-6 years and he does what you expect him to do, that's great. But it is a stepping stone job until proven otherwise, and I don't think it's going to be proven otherwise. Even if they made the step into the Big 12. You know what I mean? And they had success.
It's still going to be
there's still other big jobs that would come open that ultimately are too enticing for some guys to leave. And I do think if, when talking about hiring a new coach, if Ryan leaves for Arkansas, I think whoever that new coach is has everything at their disposal. You have the FedEx money. You have more resources than you've ever had. You have an athletic department and an athletic director who's ready to help out. You have a renovated stadium, as Trey has pointed out, going into next year. Now he says that I'm going to be coaching. No. Brother, I'll be a special advisor to the head coach or something. I don't know if I have that in me. I like my gig right now, although that would be a little bit more money.
Yeah, you would enjoy that. Let's be fair.
But,
the money would be nice.
Whoever the next coach is would ultimately have everything at their needed, just like Ryan has had the last 3 years to go win a title and be a CFP caliber team. Now, here's a fun conversation. Let's again assume Ryan is leaving. What names would you want Memphis to get involved with? That's the one that I've had fun. Urban Meyer. What do you think? John Gruden.
Nick Saban. Nick Saban. I would go talk. I would
Nick
go.
Saban,
I would go talk to
Nick
Nick
Saban.
Saban.
Make him say no.
I would make him say no. Yeah.
I have a few names. One that this is like the most aspirational hire. I know he's wanted by the big boys, and he could wait around and get a good gig here soon. But Will Stein at Oregon is a guy that I really appreciate. He's the offensive coordinator there. He's been in the American. He was at UTSA, so he's phenomenal. And what I like about him is he's just like, to me, a quarterback whisperer. When he was at UTSA, he had Frank Harris Jr., 4,000-yard passer. Then he moves on. He has the rehab project with Bo Nix and makes that work. Dylan Gabriel becomes a third-round pick under his direction. Now you have Dante Moore, who may be, whenever he comes out, first quarterback off the board. So, he's a guy that I really like. And his offenses are more not necessarily pushing the ball downfield, but it's meticulous, good run game, and quarterbacks are going to make the right decision and right read pretty consistently. So that's a name that I'd look at. Some other names. There's a guy that I used to play for, wide receiver coach, Holman Wiggins. He was here under Fuente. He's the passing game coordinator at A&M. I don't know if he's fully interested in being a head coach, but I'd imagine he is. He's done a good job with Marcel Reed in that offense. So that's a name that we could look into. I've heard the name Ben Arbuckle come up, the OC.
I was about to ask your thoughts on Ben Arbuckle and how you thought about that, because he's really young, did really good at Washington State with Cam Ward, and at Oklahoma this year with John Mateer. It's been up and down. It looked really good at the beginning of the season. We know John Mateer got hurt, and so it's like how much of that injury played a role into it. But that's a name that I really like. Memphis has kind of shown us they like to go with these offensive-minded coaches, at least over the last couple of cycles. And why not try to pluck one of them young? Kind of like what South Florida did with Alex Golesh at Tennessee. And Alex Golesh wasn't even a play caller at Tennessee, but they pulled him pretty young.
Up and coming OC.
Yeah.
That's worked here before. Okay. Yep. That was Fuente from TCU. That was Mike from Arizona State. So I get where people would have that on their mind. But I think there's options out there, and I think that there's a lot of good candidates that would be willing to take on this job. Now, to my point that I made last week, I still think this is a very competitive market. So if Ryan leaves, I don't think it's the perfect offseason to have to go through a coaching switch at the University of Memphis. It's very competitive. There's so many open jobs, so much competition out there. So that's the only thing that does give me pause if Ryan leaves here after the Navy game.
I have a question for you. Last question about this topic. Jared Davis is in the comment section, and he's a big Arkansas fan, and he kind of gives us the insight into the Arkansas program. He said stability in Arkansas is like a match with lighter fluid. He also said with how quick bigger schools are firing their coaches, it's hard to find someone who would stay for 10 plus years. So there's a level of I think what he's discussing there is even in the Power 4 level, the desire to allow a coach to cook a little bit for a couple of years is not usually there. It's not.
It ain't there. Transfer portal screwed that up for everybody. All coaches.
So I guess my question for y'all is what do you think attracts Arkansas to Ryan Silverfield? Like, what is it about Ryan Silverfield? Because we can sit here and say stability, clean program, whatever it may be. I know they beat Arkansas this year.
I mean,
but it's not like he doesn't have like. I think Ryan has a fine resume in terms of wins and losses in a bad American conference, but he doesn't have any hardware behind it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so what do you think is attracting Ryan Silverfield in Arkansas?
I heard this point made, and I don't disagree with it. I think Ryan's the type of guy that knows how to get in where he fits in, and he interviews probably pretty well.
Yeah.
He knows what he wants.
Recruiter, maybe a hell of a recruiter.
And that people seem to like what he does on the recruiting trail. But like when you remember when he got the Memphis job, he knew who to impress and how to impress them to get that job. Because for it was Dan Lanning about to get that job, guys.
Yes.
Like even Ryan Silverfield's agency was like, no fucking way. There's no way they're gonna hire him. And ultimately gets on the coach, the player's good side, gets on the good side of the big money donors, and here he is getting announced. So, in the end of the day, I think he interviews well, and I think he knows who to impress and how to impress them.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And then just for Arkansas, and this might be like the too obvious answer, but I think it's true. It's like Arkansas, when they've been good, they're known for running the ball and effective offense. And in Ryan's time at Memphis, at least over the last couple of years, they've had pretty high-powered offenses. He has the background as an offensive line coach. I don't know. There's some schools where you say that guy fits or that guy doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And Ryan feels like he fits at Arkansas.
Like
they don't.
You bring Cramsey along with him.
Do what?
You think you bring Cramsey along with him, or do you think you go for some new coordinators? What we think?
I think Cramsey would be left behind. I think he would go find a little bit of a bigger name than that.
I think Cramsey and Hankins would probably not.
You gonna keep Petrino? You think Ryan
no, if you saw what Petrino did to Sam Pittman this year, I think you send Petrino out the door kicking, bro. Like the first thing smoking, you get him out the door, man, because that man sabotaged Sam Pittman. No,
it was
doubt.
a coup. It was a coup.
It was a coup. And then he turns around and fires everybody the day after he gets the job. Yeah, I guess like if it's the stability that Ryan provides, because that's why I like Ryan Silverfield. I think he is an awesome program builder. I wish I could make sense of UAB games. I wish I could make sense of not being able to see the team, like push the team over the edge in terms of the win of conference championships and it's going as far as you. But the amount of, and I know he's building on top of what other coaches have done, but not allowing the team to fall apart and still staying relevant in bowl games and things like that. Those are kind of things that are resume builders for Ryan. But at the same time, you're also talking about a rabid SEC fan base that wants relevance right now.
Yeah.
And I just
Arkansas, they're not that rabid.
Arkansas is different.
That's the only thing I disagree with. They want success. They want a bowl game by the time the new coach gets in next year. But I don't think they're sitting there clamoring like CFP contention. As soon as you get in here, turn over the roster. They're not rabid like that.
No.
Let me tell you,
especially after the last 2 years, what they've been through.
I got a hot
this dude. Listen, and I know Jared, our guy in the comments, and Bluff City Media, shout out.
Yeah.
I know he's a Hog fan. I just want to let him know my heart does go out to him. Watching that team this year and seeing how they lose, they just find a new way every week. I have never quite seen anything like 2025 Arkansas football. It is truly impressive the ways they find to lose ball games.
He's gonna cry in the comment section. I'm just gonna throw that out there. He's gonna tear.
No, but I seriously, my heart does go out to Arkansas fans. I cannot, like the Memphis game. That's brutal enough. Then it was the Auburn game. You're up the whole game, and here comes Taylon Green throwing 3 picks in the fourth quarter or whatever it was. Then they miss a field goal at LSU to lose a ball game. Never see the ball. I mean, it's insane. It's insane.
All right, boys. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk some Memphis basketball, and it's been rough so far. 1-4. They won the season opener against San Francisco, then proceeded to lose to UNLV, Purdue, Wake Forest,
Ole Miss.
and Ole Miss, and played pretty tough against Ole Miss and Purdue. It was a close game against Wake Forest as well. That's a little bit different than Purdue, though. But it's been very disappointing, and we have come to know these Penny Hardaway coached teams as very good in the non-conference, and being able to not just hang in there, but also to beat some of these good teams. And really, like, you look at Ole Miss is solid, UNLV is not great, Wake Forest is solid, Purdue obviously number one team in the country. It's bad. It's not good right now. This team doesn't look very coherent at all. They don't look cohesive at all. It's the worst Memphis basketball has been in the Penny Hardaway era, and we know how talent derived.
It's the worst start in a 40-year period, by the way.
Yeah, which is rough. But like we know that initial team that Penny had, like that team didn't have any talent really outside of Jeremiah Martin. And this team was supposed to have a couple of those big transfer portal additions to build around. It's just been bad. It has been so ugly for this team so far.
What I've noticed, team comes and goes, as Doug McDaniel does. So he's going to be the table setter. He's going to be your main scorer. He's the head of the snake. I'd like to see Sincere Parker join the fight there, but he's got other things he's dealing with, and I understand it. It's a lot of drama behind the scenes. I'd like to see a serviceable big step up to the plate here. Simon Majok. I'm impressed with his energy, but brother, the dude just came over from Serbia like 2 months ago, and he's raw. He's so raw. It's like he does not understand the organized basketball that college basketball makes you play. So you got to give him time. Tariq Ingram's out of shape. Tierno Silla just not that talented.
Just doesn't do anything.
I have to get to the name that just pisses me off more than anything, thinking about how much the guy got paid. He's probably your second highest paid player on the roster. Aaron Bradshaw, guys, he's awful. He's so bad. And I'm not one to like call out and pile on college players, okay? But I guess with NIL, you know, it's changed. He's horrible. In the Bahamas, he fouled out in 9 minutes, and you would figure, okay, next time out, he's going to get his minutes. You're going to absolutely go ahead and tell him what he needs to figure it out. Like, what do you need to do? What do you need? What do you need from me to not foul as much as you're fouling and to just be a solid cog in this machine? So you probably had those conversations, watched the film. He follows up a 9-minute foul out with an 8-minute foul out in the game against Wake Forest. He had 10 fouls in 17 minutes, brother. You can't miss on guys like this and expect to have success, but this is beyond miss. Like, I'm at the point where sit him down on the bench and don't play him until he shows you something in practice. And then when you do play him, give him a 3-minute spurt and see if he does anything of note. It's awful.
So he has played 5 games this season. He has 20 fouls in those 5 games.
Good God.
So he has 5, 5, 3, 2, 5. So he's fouled out in 3 out of 5 games. He's averaging 11 minutes per game. He's played double-digit minutes in 1 game, which was 20 minutes. The rest was like 8, 9, 8, 9, 7. Averaging 4.4 points and 1.2 rebounds as a 7-1 big.
4.4 points is actually more than what I thought it was.
Know what really gets me, though, too? We racked our brain this entire offseason about, okay, like, where does he fit in? Because he's not a natural 5, although he may have to play the natural 5. And then we see early in the exhibitions, okay, that's not his role. Even though he's 7'1", he's light as hell in the ass. The guy gets just pushed around like, well, Oscar Clough, there's no way. I don't think he flopped, Aaron Bradshaw, but there's no way you're supposed to hit the ground that hard off what Oscar Clough did to him. But either way, we talked about his like main role. Okay, he can be a 4, like a offensively inclined big, stretch out to the 3-point line.
A Nick Jourdain type of player.
Yeah, you know what? He sucks at that too. He's no good. There's not a role on this team that he can play meaningful minutes in.
Yeah.
Until he shows you something behind the scenes.
Not like this.
I mean, at the very least, I'd say Penny pull him out of the starting lineup. I think he needs to be on the bench, though. He is actively hurting you every time he touches the floor.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I mean, when you have 20 fouls in 5 games. Like that is hard to do. Like if you're
this is
attempting
crazy.
to
Averaging
foul that much,
15
that's hard
fouls
to do.
per 40.
Yeah, it is
just nuts, man.
Yeah,
In
Oh
the
my
first
God.
4 games, how many did he have? How many rebounds did he have in the game against Wake Forest? 0.
He had 1 defensive rebound this year against Wake Forest, the last game.
Okay, so he has, but did he have an offensive rim?
His rebound numbers, and this is going from Wake Forest to San Francisco from the last game to the first game, 1-0, 1-1-3.
Okay.
He's 7'1".
Listen, I know we can pick out a lot of problems with this team. They don't shoot the 3 ball particularly well. They don't have a defensive identity. They don't really understand, what's expected of them offensively. And I get that because Penny installed the offense too late, per his words. But if you want to find the biggest problem, I think that's the guy you look at. You paid him a bunch of money to be a starter and a key contributor, and he's
can't even get on the
floor. He's worse than nothing. He's worse than nothing.
Yeah, and he wasn't free. It'd be one thing if he was free.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it right now. This is the last thing. Well, then we'll get to the break in the hot 3. So Memphis has 7 non-conference games left. They are projected to win 3 of them. They're going
to have to win the American Conference tournament.
Yeah, I'm just laying it out for what it could look like.
Let's not overcomplicate the picture here.
No,
okay?
I'm not.
They can even be the regular season winner in the American Conference. That won't mean a damn thing. It would just mean that they get a bye all the way to the end of the tournament.
No, this isn't to be like, oh, what's is there a chance? No, this is just to say that when we get to December 31st against North Texas, the first conference game, they are projected to be 4-8.
Oh, so either way, yes. Right now, it's November 25th, and I already know what
they have to win the conference tournament.
They have to win the conference tournament. That's what it is.
Yeah. All right, well, let's take a quick break, and we will be back on the other side to talk some NFL, some NBA, and some college football in the Hot 3.
In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day 1. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Some games define a season, but the Egg Bowl defines a state. It's not just a game. It's bragging rights, family lines, and hatred that few rivalries can match. Forget records and rankings. In this game,
unsportsmanlike conduct on all players from both teams.
The tradition is chaos, and this year could be the most yet. Mississippi State has something we haven't seen in years, a bite behind their bark. Starkville believes again, and the Cowbells will be out in force. Across the field, Ole Miss comes to town with everything to play for, but that's not what we're talking about. Lane Kiffin's dramatics hang like a dark cloud over Oxford. The Rebs have dodged distractions before, but never with this much on the line. This year's Egg Bowl promises to be crazy. It's for postseason positioning, state supremacy, and an opportunity to play spoiler like never before. What will be the story this year? The only guarantee in this game is chaos, and Grind City Brewing is your home for every single second.
In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, It's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem.
All right, boys, we are back with the world famous Hot Three, the Hot Three that pissed everybody off last week, Gabe. Because
of course,
apparently we have confused the fans of this program because we talk about things other than Memphis Tiger stuff. So,
hey guys, y'all see the CFP rankings just released?
I did. I saw like Oregon jumped Ole Miss. That was
Oregon jumped Ole Miss. Notre Dame still ahead of Bama. I like unbelievable stupidity there, by the way. I can't understand that. Miami's still behind Notre Dame, but they moved up a spot. They hopped Utah from last week. But the Miami beat Virginia Tech, Utah beat Kansas State. And now they gave up like 480 million yards rushing. But like I don't understand that at all. Vandy didn't move. Whatever. Let's get into it. I don't want to break my brain.
Yeah.
I'll do that on the show tomorrow.
Kenny, start us off.
all right, let's get to it, man. We got some drama in the SEC. Drama in in Oxford, Mississippi. The Lane Kiffin saga is going full throttle right now with the biggest game of the year for Ole Miss and Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl coming up on Thursday, or Friday. Friday.
Yep.
Guys, what are y'all's thoughts on all this? Like, it feels like that there is a level of Lane Kiffin needing to be on center stage at all times at the detriment of potentially what he's built at Ole Miss and a very special season for Ole Miss. Am I wrong on this? And what happens if Ole Miss loses this game on Friday against Mississippi State?
I mean, I think if they lose, they're still in the playoff, I would imagine. But to me, and Gabe and I talked about this earlier, when you look at what's going on and where all the signs point to, and I think Gabe asked me point blank, like, what do you think he's staying? Do you think he's leaving? What's happening? I would have to lean towards he's leaving, and I feel like that's the obvious answer when you see what was reported as a potential offer from LSU on the table. When you look at all the reported trips, whether that's been to Gainesville or Baton Rouge, it just looks like this has to be the end. And then on top of that, athletic director comes out and says, hey, there will be an announcement. There will be a decision made after the Egg Bowl. To me, that doesn't feel like, hey, he's staying. That feels like, hey, we're going to get through the Egg Bowl, and then we're going to announce that he's leaving.
Yeah.
But the caveat to that is I told Gabe, if this was any other coach, I would say foregone conclusion, 100%.
15 minutes from now, he could change his mind.
Yeah, they're gone. But with Lane, I wouldn't be surprised if he made the announcement, was like, yeah, I'm staying at Ole Miss. And it kind of goes back to what Kenny was saying, right? He loves being on center stage. He loves the spotlight, or at least it looks that way, and it has looked that way throughout his coaching career. So if he did pull a fast one, it was like just doing all this and then comes out and says, yeah, I'm staying at Ole Miss. I got $13 million a year. I'm not going anywhere. I wouldn't be completely shocked, but everything that we've seen, all the signs point to he's going to LSU or Florida. And I would say if he goes to Florida instead of going to LSU, that's crazy. Like, LSU's the top 5 job in the country. Florida's not that. And I would stay at Ole Miss before I went to Florida if I was there.
I am glad that he has been quieter in the past week and a half. That's been nice.
Don't you think
he's only talking about the Egg Bowl, and he's not approaching any of those questions, and he's not trolling online unless I've missed something in the past 15 minutes.
Have you seen his header? Have you seen his header on Twitter?
No, I haven't.
Oh yeah, bro. He put a picture up of Lane Kiffin is and then like it's a chalkboard where it says like all the bad things about Lane Kiffin. I'm telling you, the dude. I have a feeling Ole Miss went to him and said, "Shut the hell up, bro."
Here's what I want. I just hope it doesn't affect that team because I do feel for the players.
Yeah.
And like I saw Kawan Lacey come out and put a tweet out and speak about it to the press. I saw Trinidad Chambliss, quarterback, put out a tweet about how we're singularly focused and locked in on the Egg Bowl and
just not
what
possible.
Lane Kiffin's doing. We're dealing with his direction right now and blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, if like what you're saying is true, you wouldn't have thrown out a tweet about it. You know,
Right.
like it's just I feel like it's getting to that team, and that's a shame. Now, I'm curious as to how like the college football playoff committee would handle this, and also if Lane Kiffin doesn't coach in the college football playoff, what does that tell us about like the calendar in college football and how mismanaged and mishandled it has been by the powers that be?
Yes.
Because I think it's a shame. Say John Sumrall were to get a job somewhere else, which is Auburn, say he goes to Auburn and he doesn't get to coach Tulane through the college football playoff. I think that's a shot against the playoff system and the calendar that we have in college football.
Yeah.
Nick Saban mentioned that on College Game Day. I just wanted y'all's opinion.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is yes, it's a flaw in the system, but as a coach, you don't have a choice. You kind of have to
hit
do
the ground running. The portal opens January 2nd. Like
and now with the rule change, it's only open 2 weeks. This isn't the same portal that we've seen that as soon as games start ending and you hit December that players are entering and it doesn't close until August. This isn't an 8-month portal anymore. This is 2 weeks. So all the craziness that we've seen with the portal over the last couple of years and that being spread out over 8 months, that's condensed to 14 days now. So if you're the athletic director at LSU or you're the athletic director at Florida or any program for that matter with the head coach opening, Penn State, you have got to start gaining ground now because you've been without a coach for weeks or months at this point, and you have got to start recruiting again, and you don't have a choice. It's got to happen. The immediacy is there that, hey, look, we need to get you in now. You got a month and a half to build what your first recruiting class is. That's it. So whoever you're going to bring with you from your other school, whoever you're going to try to keep on board that's already committed, whoever you're going to try to find at the high school level and bring them here, like all those things have to be done. Yeah. I mean, we're November 25th, so that's a month and a half that stuff has to be done. You can't make it to the college football playoff game at the beginning of January. As a sitting head coach, there's no way. And I think the first playoff game is December? I think it's December 19th.
I don't know, and like I don't know how you fix it because obviously you have like school and getting guys in to for this new semester, and like I don't know how you fix it, but at the same time, there's got to be a better way than having coaches who have coached their team to a college football playoff berth leaving as they get there. As they get to the ultimate like prize that they work for all season. And by the way, I brought up Sumrall for Auburn, but Lane Kiffin leaves Ole Miss. Sumrall to Ole Miss. You think he's waiting around? Think he's waiting around for Ole Miss to come up?
Not impossible. It makes sense.
You go to Auburn or Ole Miss? I'm going to Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
All day.
Ole Miss.
No question.
If I'm John Sumrall, I am absolutely waiting on Ole Miss to make a phone call. And I
Auburn
guarantee
got money though, brother.
I would suspect.
I don't want y'all to sleep on Auburn's situation. They're
Auburn. I wouldn't call Auburn a sleeping giant, but they are a program that can be one of the.
They've won natties.
Yeah, they can be one of the best in the SEC consistently. So there is plenty of money there. There's plenty of history there. There's plenty of success to be had there. It's just about getting the right person. But I think the state of the two programs where they currently sit. You would rather go to Ole Miss with where they're at and the amount of money that they're about to start, or continue pumping into everything. Like you'd rather be there than Auburn, where they're looking to fire you. I mean, they went.
But if you talk state of the program, we could I get your point and I agree with your point. But like if you talk state of the program, you could do that with LSU. You could say Ole Miss is in a better state than LSU. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there's.
I know I'm nitpicking and I'm being the devil's advocate.
there are certain jobs that transcend the current
and LSU
state of the
would be one of
program.
them.
Like LSU won a national championship just a few years, 6 years ago.
6?
And
Was it 6?
yeah, 2019. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That was easy
Blown
math.
by.
Damn, even I could do that math quickly.
But
Kenny,
but,
good,
but
bro.
I don't think like the state of Auburn and Florida are comparable to the state of the LSU football program just because of what that job means and like with LSU that there's a top 3 recruiting class every year waiting on you at LSU. That's not the case at those other programs. So I get what you're saying. I know you're playing devil's advocate there, but there's certain jobs I think kind of transcend the state of the program discussion.
All right, what we got now?
Yep, we got the next. Let's go to the NFL. Guys, the most talked about third string quarterback of all time got to start this weekend against the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. Shedeur Sanders got his first win and was named the starter. I don't know exactly what direction y'all want to go with this, but I'm just going to tell you,
we're going up, baby.
I'm just going to
We're
tell
going
you,
up.
bro, like
It's perfect timing.
I am so impressed by I'm not even talking about the talent level of Shedeur Sanders, but his ability to like fight through and work through and be the constant like the media critic that he everybody can like all the media guys cannot stand him. The punching bag this entire year as the third string. He's kept his head down. And he won his start his first time ever starting. He won his first NFL game. I'm impressed by him. I think the mental fortitude.
Well, what bothers me about
first Browns quarterback to win their first start since 1995.
0-17 before that, longest streak in NFL history. One thing that does bother me though is like, yeah, he's a bit of a media punching bag, but at the same time, he also has like the most loving fan base.
Yeah,
the most irrationally loving fan base you've ever seen in your life.
100%.
When Rex Ryan gets on Get Up, says
Ryan
what he said. Well, but when he gets on Get Up and says what he says, he like strengthens their like love for
the resolve.
And now they want Kevin Stefanski fired, and there's been this. It was a conspiracy to hold him down. They didn't want him to succeed, and it's like, holy shit, guys! Like you're both wrong. You're both wrong. But I was impressed, man. 11 for 20. 209 touchdown, interception. I think the funniest stat outside of that 1995 one is the throw to Dylan Sampson, even though he didn't do much, just throw it to your playmaker, and he ran for 66 yards and a touchdown. That was the longest play from scrimmage the Browns have had all year. Also, earlier in the game, there was a rollout to the right, throws over the shoulder to Isaiah Bond. Beautiful throw, beautiful placement, beautiful play that wasn't even there. It didn't look like it was there. He had to go make it happen off platform. That was the second longest play from scrimmage the Browns have had all year. So he owns the 2 longest plays from scrimmage. If there's just anything that I can take away is that Shedeur Sanders at least gives an effort to push the ball downfield and make big plays, explosive plays happen for that offense. Dylan Gabriel, I don't want to be too rude, but the guy he is the lame.
Very limited.
He's the lamest quarterback I've ever seen. I mean, he will throw stick route after flat route after screen pass, and I'm just like, dude, do something, please.
Yeah,
this is horrible. It's unwatchable. At least Shedeur made it a little bit more exciting, and that was with 1 week of practice. Like, I do agree with what he said after the game. I know he said it in like a little bit, trying to have a little fun with it, but he said this is 1 week of practice. Imagine if I had a full off season. But seriously, that was 1 week worth of practice, and I thought he performed really well. Cruise to a win with the Browns that they've had only 2 before he got a start.
Yeah, and I mean, let's not overreact to it completely. I think some people, like you said, it's just the nature of the Shedeur Sanders
of the Sanders name.
Yeah, it goes too far one way or too far the other way. He didn't play great in this game. He was 11 of 20. He barely completed over 50% of his passes. He did throw an interception in this game. Like, it was okay. It wasn't incredible. I'm completely with you, though. His willingness to push the ball down the field and take more chances than Dylan Gabriel very much heightens the ceiling of this offense, which had a very low ceiling and still has a very low ceiling, but it's a little bit higher.
Christian's going to say, it ain't I or me, it's we or us.
Yeah.
Come on, Shedeur.
Yeah. But,
So
but that's,
lame.
Christian, let loose, brother. Go Rex Ryan. I want to hear it.
no, I'm not. I don't think that at all. Like I said, I think he should. After I watched this game, I was like, yeah, he should be the starter, not Dylan Gabriel. I completely agree with that.
Kevin Stefanski agrees. And listen, I don't. There was not a conspiracy to hold Shedeur Sanders down per se. It's what happens on a normal basis in the NFL. You have a 3rd-round pick, you have a 5th-round pick. 3rd-round pick gets more chances and more shots and more opportunities to develop. 5th-round pick has to earn them.
Yeah,
it's a natural day-to-day thing that happens in college football and high school and the NFL. Yeah. So, like, it's not a conspiracy. But, like, Kevin Stefanski admitting, okay, yeah, he needs to be the starter, I think is a pretty positive step in the right direction.
Yeah, it is. And I'm interested to see where it goes. Like I said, 11 of 20, not great. Pushing the ball down the field, really good. It was against arguably the worst team in the NFL and the worst defense in the NFL. So I'm just kind of been wait and see. Like, I'm interested to see what he does with like what he said, more time running with the ones and preparing like the starting quarterback rather than the backup. But yeah, that I think we'll put a bow on that. Let's move on to the last topic, Kenny.
All right, last topic, guys. The Grizzlies are 6-0 against under 500 teams. They're 0-12 against teams that are above 500. They won 2 in a row, and everybody was freaking out because it was exciting. And wow, they look great against Sacramento and Dallas, who have a combined 1.5 wins this year. No, I'm just joking, but they're terrible. Sacramento and Dallas are terrible teams.
Sacramento went on to beat the Nuggets, though.
I know, right? I know. This is the NBA,
right?
But then they faced off against. Probably, I would say, arguable. I don't even know if it's arguable at this point. One of the top 10 best players to ever play the game, and Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
And
I thought you were going to say like arguably the best player in the NBA, and I'm like, no, he's the best player in the world, no doubt.
I think Nikola Jokic is arguably a top 10 player of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Did you see the pass he made?
Oh God, that was silly.
it's the dumbest
spin move behind the back bounce pass.
It's the dumbest ever.
I could not believe he threw that pass.
Did you see the Grizzlies bench? They were like, "Sweet Jesus!" I went nuts. But one of the big developments, and this is where I wanted us to land on the Grizzlies. One of the big developments this year, and I called it a franchise-altering return, and that's Zach Edey. I think Zach Edey does things for this Grizzlies team that I think will alter the franchise moving forward, and it just adds value in so many different ways. You saw it even for 6 minutes in the Cleveland game when Zach came back, his first game back. They had Ja out there, they had Jaren out there, and they had Zach out there with Cedric Coward getting his first start. And the offense went from the game before that was the Boston Celtics game where it was unprofessional, embarrassing in every single way, to looking like a really competent team in that first 6 minutes. And you saw the way that they played with Zach Edey, and then Ja went out after in that Cleveland game, so he's out for a minute. And then last night, Jaren came back. He's been out for a couple of games. Zach Edey went out with a migraine after 6 minutes. And the first 6 minutes of the game last night against Denver, they looked great, right? Jaren was playing well. Zach was playing well. Zach went out, and Jaren receded back into himself and did kind of what everybody's been so frustrated with him, just being passive. My biggest question for y'all is, are we concerned that the Grizzlies franchise players, Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr., almost seem to be dependent on a second-year big man to be their most effective self? Are we concerned about that for the Grizzlies? Yes,
I will say, though, Zach Edey is a damn good big man, and I think he will be a good big man going into the future in this league. Like, he does everything you ask of he does the exact same script that made Rudy Gobert $36.5 million. Right. Be competent in the pick and roll, get putbacks, finish around the rim, right around 58 to 60%, block shots, do those things. Screen setting's unbelievable. He does all those things well. So, but to your point, yes, Ja and Jaren should not be dependent on somebody else to get their game off, brother. Jaren makes $50 million a year. Ja's right around there. You shouldn't be dependent on a second-year big to get those things done. Now, I do want to say, I get why they play differently and why they play better when he's in the lineup. For Jaren,
why he makes it work.
For Jaren, Edey is a space clearer. He makes it a lot easier on the defensive end for Jaren to unlock his roaming ability, shot blocking ability, things of that nature, because he's just that big ass 7'4" dude in the paint. No one's gonna, run in there and try to test him. And then for Ja, it makes more sense than any. It's like when Ja has thrived, Jonas Valanciunas setting him screens, Steven Adams setting him screens, Zach Edey setting him screens.
Yeah,
it's very clear he's one of the best space creators in the NBA, and it helps Ja tremendously. So, yes, it does concern me that the two superstars or stars on this team are so dependent on him, but I also get why they're dependent on him.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, because it's kind of like Gabe said, with what Ja is, with what Jaren is, with the money that they make, you would want them to not miss a beat with a player like Zach Edey out. But at the same time, when you dig deeper, it makes sense how he makes everything work, how he makes everything go offensively and defensively for both of those guys. Because he's just one of – I feel like with the Grizzlies, we've been talking about it for years, is who can take some pressure off of these two players, whether that be offensively, defensively, wherever the case may be. And he definitely does that for both of them, because he opens things up for Jaren on defense, like Gabe was saying. He opens up things for Ja on offense. He just changes the dynamic because he gives them a presence that they haven't consistently had with Ja and Jaren in their time with the Grizzlies. But to me, what's concerning about it is not the fact that it is a second-year player that their success really has seemed reliant upon. It's, can he play enough games to make them effective?
Correct.
Because he's been banged up, he's been injured, he's missed a lot of time in the NBA so far, and so it's I understand why it's contingent upon him, but he seems to be one of the more fragile pieces to make it contingent upon. And really, the whole state of this team over the last 3 or 4 years has been injuries, and it doesn't seem to want to stop by any means.
I'm with you, brother.
The fact that he went out and everybody thought it was a head injury, but it looked like very quickly early on it was a migraine situation that he went out with. Injury report came out today. He's questionable, which means he was getting shots up. He'll probably play tomorrow night in New Orleans. Jaren will be back. I just think this Grizzlies team, again, like you said, Christian, is just dealing with so many different injuries, and even that Ty Jerome, the announcement of kind of that it'll be 6 to 9 more weeks until they even look at him again. Yeah, it's just good God. Honestly, Gabe, I started sniffing a little bit of a tank job when I heard that. When I heard the Ty Jerome news, I was like, are they slow rolling this to get
possible?
You think it's possible? I think it might be possible, to be honest with you.
I mean, they're not. I don't think they're competing for anything meaningful this year.
No. All right, boys. Well, let's wrap it up. We just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. We know it's coming up on Thursday, so just hope everyone enjoys their holiday, enjoys their meals, enjoys their time with their friends and family. We just want to, like I said, thank you guys for joining us. And if you're watching on YouTube Live or watching this on playback, you can like and comment. Also, you can do that wherever you're listening. If you are listening via podcast, whether that's Spotify, Apple, or any other podcast platform. Once again, we thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you back here next week.
Thank you for listening to On the Bluff. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports and how you can become an insider.